Welcome to the training video for OASIS, the Online Attorney State Invoice System, a product of Indigent Defense Services. This presentation will cover from start to finish how to upload your FIAP using eCourts File and Serve, and how to use the OASIS payment portal to invoice IDS and be paid for your services. This is your full tutorial on the new way that PAC will be paid in eCourts counties. We hope this information is helpful to you and that you're as excited as we are about this new way of getting paid. Before we begin, please note that the OASIS invoice system is intended only for private assigned counsel, or PAC, in eCourts counties who do non-capital adult criminal casework at the trial level. In other words, this information is only for PAC attorneys who use the form AOC CR 225 or FIAP to be compensated for their services. OASIS is not for use by IDS contractors, managed assigned counsel or MAC attorneys, or for PAC who work on appeals, capital cases, and/or confidential cases. For an up-to-date map of the eCourts counties currently using OASIS, go to ncids.org/OASIS. A simple two-step process will ensure that PAC are paid within 30 days of submission of their FIAP. Step 1 is to upload your FIAP into eCourts. This is part of a two-step process for PAC in eCourts counties to get paid for work on non-capital indigent adult criminal cases. Please note, eCourts is not a product of IDS, rather it is a product of the NCAOC, and the segments of this video that include screens from eCourts File and Serve are meant only for guidance and not official training. For eCourts training help, please refer to the eCourts Hub. eCourts File and Serve is where you will upload your fee application along with any supporting documentation, including receipts, timesheets, etc. Go to the eFile North Carolina site and sign into your account. From the dashboard, click on the Start Filing button. Next, click on File into Existing Case. Select your county and court from the Location drop-down menu. Enter the case file number. Click Search. Next, from the Actions menu, select File into Case. When the case details appear, click on the button labeled Parties. And when a list of all involved parties appear, click on the Filings button. From here, click on the button to Add Filing. Be sure to select eFile and Serve on this screen. The selection of eFile and Serve is the required filing type for the process to work properly. Under Filing Information, use the drop-down menu to select the fee application AOC CR 225. This is the appropriate code for adult criminal FIAPs at the trial level. For the filing description, manually type in Fee Application. Next, you will upload the FIAP and any supporting documents. Use the Select File button to choose the appropriate files. Once you have uploaded your FIAP and any supporting documents, be sure to select the Public Not Portal option for the security setting. Then click Save. Use the Add More button and follow the same steps for additional documents if you need to submit more information for payment. It is important to note that any receipts for expenses more than $25 or any timesheets that the judge asks for must be uploaded as part of this initial filing in eCourts. These supporting documents cannot be added through the OASIS invoicing site, so be sure to include them in Step 1 when you use eCourts File and Serve. To go to the next segment, click on the Service button. This portion of the presentation will cover the remainder of the File and Serve process. When you go to serve IDS with the FIAP, there is an action that is required only once, the first time you file and serve with IDS with the FIAP. The step is to add OASIS as a service contact so IDS will have access to the filing in eCourts. Here is what that process looks like. After you have uploaded your FIAP and all supporting documentation in Step 3, it is time to serve IDS. First, uncheck the boxes for serving the state and the defendant. Click on the Add menu in the top right of the screen and choose Add New Contact. For associated parties, click Other, No Party Affiliation, and then click OK on the pop-up window asking if you are sure you want to select Other. Then, for the contact information fields, enter OASIS for the first name, enter IDS for the last name, and enter oasis@nccourts.org for the email address. Below, be sure to click the box next to Save to My Firm Contact List. Then, click on the Fees button, which is located in the lower right-hand corner of the screen, however is not pictured here. And you will see that OASIS is listed as a service contact. Next, click the Save button, also located in the lower right-hand corner. Select the client's name from the drop-down menu for Party Responsible for Fees. Select your name from the drop-down menu for Filing Attorney, and then click on the Summary button. From here, check the boxes for the two submission agreements, and scroll down to Other Service Contacts. Click on the small arrow on the lower right-hand side. And here you can actually see that OASIS IDS is an established service contact that will be served with this FIAP. Click on the Submit button. Steps 1 and 2 should be completed in order, and PAC are strongly encouraged to complete both steps in one sitting. Step 2 is where the PAC attorney invoices IDS using the OASIS site. For this part of the payment process, go to idsbilling.org to invoice IDS for the FIAP you just submitted in File and Serve. But first, here's a look at what you will encounter once your OASIS account has been set up by IDS and you go to log in for the first time. We will cover resetting your password and using two-factor authentication, which is a step required by the judicial branch. OASIS accounts are set up only by IDS. Users may not self-register. When IDS sets up your account, you will receive a username and temporary password from noreply@idsbilling.org via email. Click the link provided to set your password. Choose your own password or click Generate Password if you prefer the system to randomly generate one for you. Then you will receive an email auto-reply once you have saved your new password. From then on, you have an established OASIS user account. Go to www.idsbilling.org and click on the button to log in. Next, you will receive a numeric code to the email account you registered with for a two-factor authentication. Enter the numeric code in the space provided. From the landing page, you may opt to view instructions, view the policies, or go directly to the invoice form using the appropriate buttons on the screen. For the purposes of training, we will only demonstrate how to enter case details as an invoice. Choose the Go to Invoice Form button to enter your FIAP data. The first part of the invoice procedure involves three important attestations. These are in place to establish that IDS has accurate payee information, that you understand the billing policy, etc. Specifically, when you gain initial access to the invoice form, you must follow the prompts to 1. Confirm that your payee information has not changed or does not need updating. 2. Attest that you have read and understood the IDS OASIS billing policy. And 3. Confirm that you are not entering FIAP details for any capital, potentially capital, or appellate cases. If you answer yes to any of these prompts, the site will display a pop-up window with instructions on how to proceed. Once you are past those steps, you may click on the button to add a fee application. From here, enter the appropriate case details in the spaces provided. Fields marked required cannot be left blank in order to move on, and anywhere you see a circle with a question mark inside, you may hover for more information. For this section, we will walk through a few examples. First, enter your county. Next, enter the case file number. This was a final FIAP, and the disposition date was March 3rd, 2024. The client was not convicted. The court case was in district court. The client is not a habitual felon, and the client is not a habitual violent felon. This client was charged with a Class 2 misdemeanor. The attorney spent an hour and a half in court. Please be sure you convert your time to tenths of an hour in decimals. The attorney spent 3 hours waiting in court, and for time out of court, there was 1 hour spent. For this particular instance, there were no additional expenses out of pocket, and the judge did not reduce the fee award. As you can see, the total populates for this case. Click on Add Fee Application. As you can see, the case you have just entered has been logged in the OASIS system. It's important to know that you can enter more than one FIAP in one session. Let's add another one. Click on Add Fee Application. Select your county. Enter the file number and this one is a final FIAP as well. The disposition date was April 4th, 2024. The client was convicted. This was in district court. The client is not a habitual felon, and the client is not a habitual violent felon. The most serious charge for this client was DWI. This attorney spent 2 hours in court, 3 hours waiting in court, and an hour and a half outside of court. There were no additional expenses for this case either. Then we click on the box that says the judge did not reduce the fee award, and the total populates for this case. As you will know, there is no math required of the attorney. The rates are automatically built into the site, and they are calculated automatically. Let's enter one more case. Click on Add Fee Application. This case was in Wake County. We enter the file number, this was a final fee app, and the disposition date was March 1st, 2024. The client was not convicted. This was district court. The client is not a habitual felon, and the client is not a habitual violent felon. These two boxes are important because they could affect the rate at which the attorney is paid. In this case, the client was charged with a Class H felony. The attorney spent 1.25 hours in court, 3 hours in time in court waiting, and 5 hours out of court. They also made 100 single-sided copies and 50 double-sided copies. There were no other out-of-pocket expenses. The judge did not reduce the fee app, and the total amount is pictured here. As you can see, we have entered multiple fee applications in one session. Now we are ready to submit our invoice. The total for this invoice is $1,399.25. Scroll down and look at the attorney attestation statement. It's very important that you read and check the box that you understand and agree to the statements therein. When you get to this point, you are finished. All you have to do is click Submit. You will receive an automatic e-receipt to your email account that includes the file numbers and all the information you entered for each case during your session. This is for your personal record keeping and tracking purposes. The email confirmation looks like this. Please note that the total line located above the order table reflects the total amount billed for a case. The subtotal and total reflected in the order table should be disregarded. It provides only the hourly rate for the case type because the site is built to bill by units, but for our purposes, this is not relevant. It is so important to e-file and serve IDS in eCourts, and then enter the case details into OASIS right away. Allowing too much time to pass between loading the fee app into eCourts and invoicing IDS through OASIS increases the chances for inadvertently missing the second step, which is crucial for IDS to know that a fee app has been submitted. Once a FIAP is uploaded into eCourts File and Serve, and the clerk accepts it, there is a finite amount of time that IDS will be able to view the electronic document in order to audit it and match it to an invoice. Therefore, you are strongly encouraged to complete steps 1 and 2, one right after the other. Please note, it is only through your submission of the OASIS invoice in Step 2 that alerts IDS that you have completed a FIAP and you are ready to be paid. This slide places emphasis on how IDS knows to match a FIAP with an invoice. In OASIS counties, a FIAP without an invoice simply cannot be paid. Whenever an eCourts county begins using the OASIS invoice system, it is not optional for PAC who are billing for non-capital adult criminal casework. There is no opt-in or opt-out. Upon full implementation, OASIS will be required for every eCourts county for PAC who do non-capital adult criminal casework and those who complete FIAPs to be compensated for indigent work. Judges will continue to sign fee applications filed in Odyssey and enter the civil judgments for attorney's fees when appropriate. And while it occurs rarely, attorneys and judges will be asked to notify IDS immediately if they learn of any reduction in the amount of a fee award. This will prevent duplicate payments. The IDS point of contact for reduced fee awards is Chief Fiscal Officer Aaron Gallagher. Please email Aaron if you learn of any fee reduction. Additional IDS staff members are ready to help with all of your OASIS needs. For OASIS programming issues or site glitches, contact IDS Research Director and OASIS site developer Chris Sadler. For all questions related to payments and user account setup, contact Accounts Payable Manager Shannon Simmons. For all OASIS policy and/or legal questions, contact IDS Assistant General Counsel Chad Boykin. And for technical assistance or OASIS system and data analysis, contact IDS Senior Research Associate Joe Oder. We look forward to better serving all PAC who do adult criminal work and ensuring they are paid within 30 to 45 days of initiating this new payment process. Thank you for watching this IDS tutorial for the new online attorney state invoice system, OASIS.